Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to one of the main highlights of GOCC 2026. We're moving on to the moments where we recognize and honor excellence. We're moving on to the moments where we present the prestigious Tech Jewel of India Award. Some individuals don't just excel in their fields, they redefine what is possible for an entire nation. Today, we honor one such extraordinary individual, a man who represents determination and the spirit of modern India. Let's take a look at his journey.
In an era defined by technological advancement, strategic capability, and national resilience, there are individuals whose journeys embody excellence across domains. Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair is an accomplished officer of the Indian Air Force, a distinguished graduate of the National Defence Academy, and recipient of the President's Plaque and Sword of Honour for standing first in the overall Order of Merit. Commissioned in 1998, he brings with him nearly 3 decades of service and close to 3,000 hours of flying experience across multiple fighter and transport aircraft, including MiG-21, Jaguar, MiG-29, and the Sukhoi 30 MKI. As commanding officer of a frontline fighter squadron, he has led high-performance teams in mission-critical environments. In recognition of exceptional courage and service, he was awarded the Kirti Chakra, India's second highest peacetime gallantry award. A Category A flying instructor and an experimental test pilot, he has contributed to both operational excellence and technological advancement in aviation. He has also been recognized with the Agni Excellence Award by DRDO. Group Captain Nair is a distinguished graduate of the United States Air Force Air Command and Staff College, where he stood first among international officers. He holds advanced academic credentials in strategic studies, aeronautics, and defense research, including published work on artificial intelligence and its implications in modern warfare. India's space journey has evolved significantly. From landmark missions such as Mangalyaan to the nation's current ambition of human spaceflight. As part of India's prestigious astronaut program under ISRO, he represents the next phase of India's technological and scientific advancement. On the 27th of February 2024, he was conferred with India's astronaut wings by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. He is married to Lena, a noted actor and author, and is a proud representative of Kerala on the national and global stage. The CIO Association is honored to present the Tech Jewel of India Award 2026 to Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair, recognizing excellence at the intersection of technology, leadership, and national impact.
For his outstanding contribution to science, aviation, and the future of India's space exploration, we are proud to present the Tech Jewel of India Award 2026 to Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, let's all welcome Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair on stage, the winner of the Tech Jewel of India Award 2026. Hearty welcome to you, sir. It is such an honor for us to have you with us here today. To present the award, I would like to invite on stage, with a lot of respect, the President of the CIO Association, Mr. Umesh Mehta, and the President of the Kerala Chapter of the CIO Association, Mr. B. Srikumar. Here we are presenting the Tech Jewel of India Award to Group Captain Prashant Nair at GOCC 2026. Let's all be a part of these wonderful moments with a big round of applause. Recognizing an accomplished officer of the Indian Air Force, a highly skilled test pilot with years of flying experience, and one among the few chosen for India's most ambitious space mission.
2026 to Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan. Leadership and national.
Thank you, gentlemen. Prashant sir, you have truly inspired all of us with your achievements. We now request you to speak a few words on this occasion.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind. Thank you, CIO. Thank you for everyone for taking out your valuable time to come here tonight and to honor me. I shall truly, cherish this, and this shall occupy a very important part of my house. A lot of compliments also. One of the best introductory videos I have seen also on this, and I'm sure a lot of effort has gone into that. So I'm really touched by the thing that you have done out here. Also, I can see most of you are in blue dress also. So that is the color of Air Force. So we call ourselves Men in Blue. And I congratulate all of you for your achievement in your individual life. All of you are achievers, and that's why you're here. And when Sugeesh reached out to me, very persistent person, I decided that I think I must come here. One, in God's own country's event. And secondly, I know all of you are the people who are the movers and shakers of your individual company. Without you, maybe the company, I can say, will not exist, So in this age of information warfare and propaganda, you guys are the chief information officers of your company. You play all a very important role. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I think I'll continue, and I got a small or a big presentation. Like I say, sometimes I can do this in 10 minutes, or I can do this in 3 hours also. But I know it's a long day for you. You all have been here. What I'll try and do is that I will try and show you many vignettes of my own journey and the training that I've undergone in Roscosmos in Russia with the Yuri Gaganyaan Cosmonaut Training Center, and also in NASA and other places within ISRO, and tell you what it means to be an astronaut, because many people do not realize, they just see the glitz and the glamour. I thought maybe you should all know, and you being the chief information officers, you can take this information back to your respective organizations and tell them what it means. And here, when I say an astronaut, I don't talk about my own journey as such. I mean, I don't want to say that I am the person who's important here, but it's this dress, what it represents. And the talk that I generally would like to give is, what is an astronaut state of mind? What does it represent? And what I generally say is something that what you see here. When you see something like this, do you see mathematics or do you see poetry? And my general hypothesis is that space is the ultimate place which stands for the healthy combination of science and art. I know you are all chief information officers of generally, I think, science and technology companies, and you are involved in many things like this. But I can maybe tell it out here that the reason that you all are leaders and successful in your life is because you have brought art into your science, which maybe you can't put into words. And that healthy combination of art in science is the reason that you all are successful leaders. So maybe by the end of this talk, you'll be able to tell whether this is poetry that you see or whether it is science. When you go up there and you think the astronaut is up there and that umbilical is connected to Earth, sometimes it makes you think, who actually are the astronauts? Because when you look down from up there, you see this massive globe, round thing, object, which is going around the sun at 31 kilometers per second. You all are the astronauts. Your spaceship is called Earth, and I dare say your capsule is India, and your spacesuit is your skin. And I'm not talking about any kind of philosophy, it is science. We are astronauts on this fantastic spaceship called Earth. So let's begin the journey. who am I? Like, who is an astronaut? So that's me, which you saw, and that was the first astronaut wings. I'm still wearing it right now with me. That's the first astronaut wings of India, which the Prime Minister awarded in 2024 in Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. So that's me, long time back, when I had something above my head, that fungus which I took off after some time, that's 1998, 99, when flying the Widowmaker, known as MiG-21 also, in Tejpur, Assam. So 99. And later on, I was the commanding officer of the Sukhoi squadron also there during the Doklam crisis with China. This was during 2015 era. So who is and why do we need to be a fighter pilot to become an astronaut? That's to say that I'm not only a fighter pilot, I'm also a test pilot. Test pilot doesn't mean that I'm always giving exams. Test pilot among fighter pilots are an exclusive group of people like, Neil Armstrong, all of us are test pilots. Because when you are doing a developmental vehicle like the Gaganyaan, which is not yet proven, you require crazy people like us to take this fast moving machine and to take action when something goes wrong really fast. You being chief information officers, you'll realize there's a lot of information that needs to be processed by the human brain by taking all the inputs. And if something goes wrong, because remember, this is the first time we are sending an Indian capsule on an Indian rocket. We need to take those actions very fast. So you need people like us who are trained to do this. We already are qualified in doing this in fighter aircrafts. When we put new systems, whether it's avionic systems, whether it is weapon systems, whether it is new engines, and take the aircraft throughout its flight regime before we release it for public use. So similarly, before our children, and most of you may be going to Moon and Mars in the future, before you can actually use those spacecrafts, people like us need to test it out. It's a whole lot of fun when you're sitting on the edge of your seat and you don't know what's going to happen. It's like the ultimate roller coaster ride. So that's what an astronaut is in the mission Gaganyaan. I don't know how many of you know what actually is mission Gaganyaan. Many people don't know. Mission Gaganyaan is to take an Indian rocket, LVM-3, in an Indian capsule, the Gaganyaan capsule, from an Indian spaceport in Sriharikota, which will be human certified, to 400 kilometers low Earth orbit and to get him down safely into the Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea. We will be only the fourth country in the world after Russia, USA and China to do this. Not even the Europeans, not even the Japanese, nobody has got it. It is very niche technology. This is Mission Gaganyaan. And that's why you require guys like us to do the initial testing so that tomorrow your children and your relatives can also make the journey. So what else does it involve? So I'm not just, flashy dresses. People like me have to study and do a lot of experiments also. That's an Indian Institute of Science and testing certain aerodynamic decelerators. So studies also are required. And that's the Gaganyaan capsule and the LVM-3 rocket of which is being tested and human rated. We'll have few missions this year with the unmanned version so that before we send the manned version, maybe by next year. But what got me here, right? That's my journey. I would say that not too far from here is Sabrimala. And irrespective of our religion, irrespective of our denomination, we all have got something spiritual between us. For me, it was Lord Ayyappa. And I realized, long time back that I always used to look for the next thing to be complete. That, I need to do this, I need to do that. And long time back, when I was a 9th standard student in 1990, on 2nd August, in a place called Kuwait, I saw tanks rolling in when Iraq attacked Kuwait. I was a young boy then in Kuwait. My father was working there. And I saw a line of tanks, and one of the tanks just turned its turret and took off the top floor of a Holiday Inn. I'll never forget that scene in my life. And then I heard like 1,000 thunderstorms, some very big sound. And then I realized on top of me, 3 fighter jets went. Later on, I realized it was a MiG-21 because they were taking out Farwania airport in Kuwait for the invasion, during the part of the invasion. And I got a faint glimpse of the helmet of the fighter pilot. And I thought, that must be God. Like a young boy, I want to be God. We all want to be rich and powerful, right? And thus began my journey to become God. All powerful, all rich, everything I should have. So I thought for me, fighter pilot is God. I became a fighter pilot. Still not. satisfied. We always want to do some more thing, because once you get it, very soon we feel that that's not enough. Then I became a rocket scientist and I still was not enough. Then I became an astronaut and I realized it's not getting anywhere. Meaning, always you feel incomplete. And that's where I realized I used to keep going here. Something was written on top, which was the immortal words, Tattvamasi. That which I was searching for was already within me. There is nothing more to search for. Now just enjoy life knowing that you're complete. And that was my journey. So that's why I say in my own journey, the jump from fighter pilot to astronaut was when I realized that I'm totally complete right here, right now. What does that mean? It's not philosophy. When I'm standing here and talking to you, I give everything to this moment. I'm not stuck in the past, which becomes depression, or project myself in future, which becomes anxiety. This moment is all that exists, and I want to give 100%. Whatever happens next, it's fantastic, and it will happen only the best. So that's my philosophy, at least. But what does it mean? So I show you a lot of photographs. So this is me training in San Antonio, Texas, in which we are taken in the pressure chamber to a high altitude of around 25,000 feet or 30,000 feet. The oxygen is less, the pressure is less, and we are supposed to, you can see the condensation taking place also, and we are given a lot of situations in which we are supposed to be able to take very quick decisions. So we got trainings like this. And that's the centrifuge. I don't know how many of you know, it's like a washing machine in which you go. And the person there is not my grandfather, that is me only. So once you're on the centrifuge, you think it looks cool, right? In a fighter aircraft, like when Tom Cruise is pulling G in Top Gun. But that's how you look. I got a small video also to show you what happens inside. Can you just play the video, please? Who's the, oh, sorry. Somewhere? Someone can just play the video, just click down, yeah. So you can see I'm sitting inside, and on the background you can see the rotation. That's the centrifuge. It's rotating. Is the audio there? You can put the audio if it is there. Others?
So you are at 1.4, comfortable? Permission to start track.
And you can see all the wires are inside because you're supposed to be perfectly calm while doing this.
1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. Pull more. 2, 3, breathe. Pull more. 2, 3, breathe. 1, 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 2, 3, breathe. Offload gradually. Continue GSM and offload. Continue GSM and offload.
So that's, what happens inside the mask and the helmet. It's not all romantic looking at that time. What is happening is that your blood and G is increasing. Your body is being pulled down with extra gravity. Right now, we all are in one gravity, 1G, 9.8 meter per second square. As you pull the centrifuge, get your entire body. But remember what is inside your body, the blood. So even though you see my eyes are open, very soon the blood drains from your brain and you start becoming blind with your eyes open. So what happens is you have all these techniques to tighten your stomach muscles and everything and push the blood back. Because if you do not do all that, very soon the blood from the brain will stop and you can die also. So we have all this equipment to make sure. And why is this required? Because when we are going to space or when you have fighter aircraft and all, we're pulling all this acceleration, we should not only survive, we are supposed to be operating at our most optimal level at that particular time also. Whether it is to take a lock with the missile on the enemy or in the rocket to make sure we're pressing all the buttons. So that's why as part of the training, you can see all those wires are inside and the doctors and the other people are making sure that you are not getting a heart attack at that time, because there's no point surviving and not being able to take any action. So these are the kind of training we have got. And this is inside the Soyuz capsule in Moscow. You can see that is a suit. This is the same thing in Moscow. In the biggest centrifuge, you can see all the doctors are kitting me up. and they do all these tests to make sure that whether you're able to take all the actions in time. So what else does it mean to be an astronaut? So I'm also a fighter pilot, so we have to keep honing our skills, and that's me doing air-to-air refueling from one Sukhoi 30 to other Sukhoi 30. So what do you mean by air-to-air refueling? That means without landing on the ground, we refuel so that we don't waste time when we are going for our military operations. So I'm flying at around 5 to 6 kilometers and at around 500 to 600 kilometers per hour, and very close we go. You can see it's almost touching each other, and so it's dangerous also, but people like me are crazy, like I said. And we have to, this much bucket is there, we have to go and plug in and remain while the fuel is coming. This is the easy part, but remember when we do our missions, we go by night, we go by valleys of Kashmir to all the mountains, and we sometimes enter thunderstorms also. Whole lot of fun. For me, it's like a roller coaster ride. And I always tell my wife, I don't know why more people are not doing it. It's like for free, you can do all these fantastic things. And my wife, my wife Lena said that not everybody wants to sit on top of a rocket of 300 tons of fuel when you light it up from behind and fire is coming out. So that was a very big wake-up call for me. I realized everybody has different thrills in life. For me, it's like sitting on top of a firecracker when it's going up. So that's the kind of thrill which I like. This is also with me and my colleagues in Moscow when we do zero-G flight. We do all this flight training. I can show you some videos there. Can you play the video, please? This one also. You can play this video. You can play this also. Yeah, so like I said, it's a whole lot of fun. I don't know why more people are not doing it. Maybe that is the fun part, but this is me in NASA. Part of the training also involves being a human guinea pig, right? Or everybody wants to do some experiment on you, but for the right or maybe the wrong reasons. So here you can see in NASA, they are pumping carbon dioxide into my lungs to see what is my carbon dioxide tolerance. So it's like going to Delhi for free. So in India, if you go to Delhi, you can get carbon dioxide, and you all should be lucky to be in this fantastic place where there's a lot of oxygen. Whoever thought the time would come when we'll be, raring for good air. So here, why do we need this? We are taking many things for life granted on Earth. Right now, you're breathing carbon dioxide, but where is it going? The molecular weight is different, and nature is taking care of us. It starts descending, and oxygen automatically comes because of the molecular weight. And when you're in a closed environment, sometimes you get headache because there is not good ventilation. Remember, in microgravity in space, whatever you breathe out remains here. It's here. There is one carbon dioxide bubble here, things which you took for granted. Now, if you're sleeping and you're doing something, and if there is no ventilation, you might drown by carbon dioxide in your own carbon dioxide poisoning. So when something like this happens, we should know symptoms of carbon dioxide poisoning in different people and see what their tolerance are. So all these things are done to see how it is, and we start, appreciating oxygen more. What else is it? We also have a lot of medical tests. Every 6 months, a lot of medical tests are done on us. This is to see vestibular organ. So like I said, every scientist has a probe which will stick into us, all kinds of stuff are on our body. So a lot of medical tests. I'm just showing you a few of the photographs. But it's a lot of fun stuff. When you go to space, you also have to eat food, right? But we can't have our favorite Mysore Pak or Laddu, because that one small thing will start floating in space if it is very granular. And you know Murphy's Law, it will start going into the socket and cause a short circuit. So we have to take pasty food or some other things and hold the cover close and have things like that. And you can't just drink water like that because it'll float everywhere. So we have to choose the right food, and also we should know how to cook the food. So to cook, this is in NASA, where we are having the the equipment just to put water and to take those desiccated dried food and to make it into something which is palatable. What else does it involve? It also involves to be like a corporate leader, to be part of many design review teams, because finally we are astronauts and we have the highest stake in any launch. So the rocket, as it is getting ready over the period of the year or 6 months, we are part of various teams to make sure that the launch campaign or schedule is taking place without any problem. What else does it involve? Obviously wearing the cool suits, so as to make sure that our children get the right photographs. So that's also very important. And we are also given a lot of camera training so that the right frames are chosen. Like, each and everything that happens in space, we have to rigorously plan, and we have to make sure we are ready for it. So in case there's a fire or there is some poisoning, because the capsule and everything have got all these thermal and many other kinds of stuff which is running through them. And if there is some kind of debris, maybe some lethal thing can flow in. So when it happens, you have to pull up the mask and do something very fast. And we are assessed in all this. And there are a lot of equipment which are made sure that we can survive space. What else is there? Also, in space, we are only the plumber, we are only the electrician. So those movies that the hatch is very important, outside is vacuum. So we should know each and everything about every equipment in the machine that we are there, right from opening each and every bolt and repairing it also. Because in space, if something goes wrong, you need the right tool. Imagine if one screwdriver, you're not careful and the head breaks. You can't spend $400 million to launch one more spacecraft to get one screwdriver. So it starts making you think, do you design stuff in such a way that tomorrow we have got 3D printers and all, or you make an equipment in such a way that you can use minimal tools? So this is where a particular dangerous or an inhospitable environment or a costly environment is driving innovation and technology so that you can achieve the maximum. So things like this also we are given. And you can see all these kinds of equipments, electrical equipment, computers, everything is there. We are only the, troubleshooters. Everything that happens there, a lot of computers, there's a lot of Wi-Fi network also. There is a lot of information being pumped up from Mission Control Center. But there are blind zones and there can be emergencies. So we are supposed to be knowing all these things, how to repair, whether it's software, whether it's hardware, whether it is actual other things, making observations. You can see even knowing how to operate cameras of all kinds. Other thing is to be a student always. He is my instructor, who's much younger to me. So we are told always to respect our instructors and continue to learn something new. Because always technology is going on improving. And like in your own, I'm sure, companies, this is one thing which is always there, continuity training. So here the thing is that as astronauts, the youngsters will keep coming and telling us, because we generally are the more permanent people. So one thing is to make sure that our egos are less and we are always in the receptive mode. What else is there? Also the Mission Control Center. This is the famous Houston Mission Control Center. I heard Houston, we have a problem. This is in Houston, Johnson Space Center. So we are taught how to remain on the other side of Mission Control Center and how to control and the entire International Space Station operations. So these are some of those photographs. Along with that, also we have to do team building, a lot of team building, but here with the astronauts, we go to very inhospitable terrains. This is in Mexico, the Gulf of, not the Gulf of Mexico, but the Baja Peninsula. And we go to 5-6 days out in our canoes and do a lot of team building because it's finally being in space is like one big boss. All kinds of training we do. Also, we do a lot of psychological training. Because as teammates, we should know each other and make sure that we stick out for each other, because the lowest member out there, when we are in a closed environment, can pull down an entire spacecraft. So we have to make sure we are psychologically strong. A lot of training there. This is in Moscow. Remember, once the capsule lands back also, there might be, because it's coming back at 8 to 10 kilometers per second and entering the atmosphere like a meteor. So there'll be a lot of fire, there'll be a lot of ablative bottoms which is burning off. But if something happens and after landing over the sea, it starts sinking. Very soon we have to jump out of the capsule and learn to survive for 2 days in the open ocean. So this is part of the ocean survival training in Moscow. Then if it lands over the desert, we have to survive for 2 days over the desert before help can come. So this is desert survival. And the joke which I make is that Napoleon and Hitler could not survive the Russian winter, but we survived the Russian winter. 2 days we had to survive the Russian winter also, minus 30, and somehow survive outside there. But it's good, learn all kinds of survival mechanisms. Then in case after landing, coming back from space, we land over the ocean. You would have seen like the Artemis crew who had come back also. After landing there, it's a helicopter will take you to, the land. So the helicopter might crash, right? So we go to so much preparation that in case the helicopter crashes, how do you escape from a helicopter? So we are given helicopter survival training also, in which we are put into something like this and inverted into a swimming pool with all the harness on and mask, and we are supposed to escape and survive from that and make sure colleagues also survive. Then we are supposed to be scientists carrying out all those experiments. So whatever experiments carried out in space, we are supposed to be knowing it thoroughly. And that's the Axiom spacesuit, which is going to be on the surface of the moon very soon. So I was lucky enough to try it out. It's the Artemis spacesuit made by the Axiom company. We have a lot of fun. That's bottom on there is the space toilet. Remember, we have to go to toilet in space, but you are floating. So it's very important to have potty training, one of the most important things which we undergo. So a lot of such training is there in which we interact with the people, lot of camera training, lot of, as you can see as information, lot of electronics, information, all kinds of troubleshooting, all kinds of equipment handling, so that you get the perfect picture, for when we go up to space. Everything looks good from far, but there's a lot of effort and training, not just from us, but the entire nation and entire system just to get few astronauts up into space. So that's me, my colleague when he returned from space, I went to receive him, and Shukla, and that's Air Commodore Ravish Malhotra, who was the backup astronaut to Rakesh Sharma in 1984. He came to see us in Houston when we were there, and that's the overall which he wore in 1984. So, a lot of, and he's 90 years old. He came after a hip replacement surgery here in India. So a lot of family effort goes into all this, These are all the astronauts who are training there in Houston. One big family, people from all over the world, right from Japan to all European countries to Canada to Russian astronauts. And you can see on the bottom left is Rakesh Sharma, sir. And that's our chairman. People from all around the world are there. This is so part of the training is also with SpaceX, Elon Musk. That's Hawthorne, California, and that's the Falcon 9 which comes back. And there is South Texas, Boca Chica, where the Starship is being made. Those are the rockets which will take humanity back to Moon and Mars. It's an Elon Musk factory which they're going to make one rocket at the rate of every 2 weeks. Massive establishment. But the reason I'm showing you this is that when I went there, I saw at least 33% of the people, they were Indian American scientists, So it shows that what kind of country we are, and only we are capable of most of this. But still, we should dream high. And we are one big family. So whenever any launch takes place and we are recovering also, everybody gets together. The way you all are like one family, everything is there. Because in our dangerous profession, anything can happen. And we require a lot of family support. So what does it mean to be an astronaut? I would say it summarizes here. An astronaut or a human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hawk, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch menu, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, die gallantly. Specialization for insects. So this is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to be doing all this. But like I said, I could not have asked for another life. It's so fantastic, so many things to do, even including coming and meeting people from all streams of life. I was just telling Sugeesh also, I just came back yesterday from Delhi and meeting many military people, and I'm also a military person, but we're having a conference there. I keep traveling and I'm part of many other organizations and all. It's so good to have a flavor of the entire our nation in front of us, and knowing there's so many people with so many achievements, and all of us through something or other are contributing to our nation building. So, who is an astronaut is the question I asked, but I think the better question is that in this, NASA itself has told, because we generally take all the things which Americans have written, right, and they put down. They have said something known as a systems engineer, because when in the all kinds of jobs, most of you are engineers also, people think it's only involves engineering. But systems engineer is a guy who's supposed to do everything, and that I feel is a leader. And this is the definition he says. And you can see it's an art and science. So coming to my original thesis, what makes us different, and what I would encourage all of you, and I tell our children also everywhere, please make sure that it's not only science, you bring art into your profession. So because even here it's a system engineering is a holistic integrative discipline, and see what's written in the last. It produces a coherent whole that is not dominated by the perspective of a single discipline. So what's the astronaut way of thinking? It is the most logical way of thinking. It is science and art. It is left brain, right brain. It is maths and it is poetry. The question we should ask is, why should anyone be an astronaut, or why should you have this state of mind? Well, I would say it's so that you know how to go to the toilet properly. I'm not joking. It is so that we don't take the most simplest things in life for granted. We don't even think, right, when we go to a bathroom, we are talking, we're doing something, it's the most menial thing. Thank Mother Nature for allowing you to stand in one place while going to the bathroom. So that's why we go to space. That's why we do the things that we do, because we shall not cease from exploration. And the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. Just to be in this beautiful land, God's own country, beautiful nature, clean oxygen, fantastic cuisine, next to the seaside, in a great place, under this air conditioned things. You're all ahead of the curve already. But each person is always saying that, oh my God, I wish only if life was better. The thing is that we are here, but we want to be there. The moment we reach there becomes here. So again, we feel incomplete. So things like going to space or putting yourself into a difficult situation, why we should do every once in a while is so that we don't take the things which we already have for granted. All of you are accomplished people, I don't have to tell you. But for our children, I always tell them that, please don't ever feel that you're incomplete, because the greatest thing that everybody keeps telling them, especially in this Instagram generation, is that they are not enough. And I request all of you, please don't make them get that feeling. And similarly, in your own office and in your own places where you're working, your subordinates, never humiliate them and never make them get that feeling that they are not enough, because they are enough. Why? Because of the Sputnik moment. 1957, the Sputnik satellite was launched. The first satellite. I know most of you would remember that or would know about it. But what did it mean by launching Sputnik satellite when USSR launched it in 1957? For USSR and all its allies in the Cold War, it meant the arrival of space age. But for America and all the NATO allies, it meant the arrival of precise nuclear delivery ballistic technology with USSR. And hence was born DARPA. I'm sure most of you know, DARPA is Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. So that USA started in 1958. Once this happened, because they said, never again we shall be technologically surprised by any other country in the world. And DARPA is the one who invented DARPA Net, which became Internet. And they invented GPS, which is the reason most of it. So all these things happened because of some suffering. So I always tell also, when we are choosing a route on GPS, it never tells destination failed, right? When you do not reach and there's an obstacle comes, it says rerouting. So in our life also, all the obstructions that come, just make sure that we reroute. Anything that comes in life is so that we do the next step. So in our own life, in our own mission, I would like to define something known as the Gaganyaan moment, which will come very soon when we launch the first Indian using our own spacecraft. What is the Gaganyaan moment? When COVID happened, only a country like India, few countries could manufacture their own COVID vaccine, and we were among the only country who gave it to other people before we ourselves had it for our own population. And not only the government, not even one citizen protested. No other country will do it because they are selfish. Only India can do it. This is our Indian state of mind. We have already forgotten that. So this time when we go to space, we know that we are holding space for the rest of humanity. Because like in the 300, 400 years back, when these colonizing powers started going out, they started carving up the world as colonies. Very soon, going to space, going to moon and Mars, these countries will start carving up these places. But this time, India will go there. And for India to have a say, when the Outer Space Treaty and many of these things are done, we should have that capability. This is why a human should go to space, an Indian should go to space. But Remember the COVID example which I gave. When India does something, we don't do it selfishly. So here, all those countries who cannot send their human beings to space, whether it is Europe, Africa, Southeast Asia, they know that when India goes, we will hold it for everybody else. We lost the UN Security Council seat. We lost the seat in the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And you see the chaos in the world. But this time, when the space treaties and other things will be rewritten, India will have to be included because we'll be having the technology of launching our human being to space. And we will make sure it is done equitably. This is your legacy and the children. And please remind your children, yourself, what a great nation we are. Because many times we are underconfident. This is what I would want all of you to know. Thank you. So what is it I always say? The Prime Minister has generally told the nation has always valued knowledge, spirituality, and collective well-being over individual possessions. This is not just empty words. It's always something which we have been doing. And the last line says, the fruits of knowledge and progress are shared for the collective good rather than personal gain. It is not empty words. Many countries like the US, they say we do everything for the whole of humanity. Just prefix before humanity for all of American humanity. And you know that is true. They will never use our systems. They will use only a Gmail and they will only use their own kind of system. Most of you work in American companies, you know. But the thing is that we will use American systems. We should use our systems also. We should use a Zoho Mail. We should use an Aratai. We should promote our startups. We should promote our homegrown startups. We are not like China, which bans everything. We are not like America also, which is using its own monopoly to promote their people. We use everything else, but do not deride our own technology because of that. We are fantastic people who are running the engines of the world. But why is it that we only remain as CEOs of company, whether it's a Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella? Why do we require a Westerner to come here and say, oh, great Indians, we'll use this, and make a company out of them and own the copyright and IP, but they should just be our slaves? Is this the reason why 10,000 Britishers came and ruled over an entire continent? Maybe that's the reason. You should have more confidence over yourself. Sitting here, we are all wearing T-shirts which are manufactured in Tirupur and Ludhiana. But the instructions there will be in UK size and US size, but not in an Indian size. You'll be wearing shoes which are manufactured here, but you'll have US size, UK size, maybe Mexican size. You will have wash instructions in your shirt, which will be in 10 languages, including 4 European languages, maybe Arabic, maybe Burmese, maybe some other languages and Turkish. But not in one Indian language, even though all this is made here. If you put it in Malayalam, the Bengali will have a problem. If you put it in, Rajasthani, the Tamilian will have a problem. But none of us have a problem if you put it in Spanish. Just see what mentality it is. Actually, all those countries are thinking, what's wrong with these guys? They are India. We are not some Fiji, Suriname, or some other Arab country who cannot manufacture any of this. We are manufacturing anything in the world. All of you are making fantastic software and many other kind of things for the companies which you work in. But just imagine what is happening, that we do all this and still many places we are treated like we do not deserve it. They will never give you the treatment. You should do it. If USA had a sufficient Malayali population or a sufficient Bengali population, in the T-shirts which he gets from Tirupur, he will make sure Malayalam or Bengali is put. But we ourselves will not put it there. We will not say that this company, when it sells in Kerala, should have one thing in Malayalam. When it sells in UP, it should have something in Hindi. Why not? We have got 1.4 billion people, right? First, we should demand it ourselves, and that is where the thing will come. We should have quality, and we should demand it. We are India. We are not some other country. All of you are fantastic people. People around the world will die to have people like you in their company, right? But just make sure we make sure we use a Facebook also, but we'll use a Zoho Mail also. And you all know it, that when a KPMG and those big fives come and say that we need to do this in a company so as to make it profitable, very secretly or something, they will also slip in that when you use this, make sure you migrate this to Microsoft Outlook or something else. They also push their agenda. But how many of us will go somewhere else and say that, okay, you need to change this in your company and put one of our companies through it? No. We do a crab mentality and pull our people. Develop wealth through private and make sure our country prospers. What else? So already Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, many great leaders have already given what we need to do. I don't have to elaborate it. So do you see maths or do you see poetry? I hope I've been able to tickle that, and maybe you see something between. It's a mix of both. It's beauty is an eye of beholder. So this is not two people. It's your own. You only are the same. It's your hands. What I want to say is that both these are on you. Please have art in your science and science in your art. It is there in our culture, Ardhanareshwari. This is all symbolic. nothing to do with religion or anything, that both man and woman, the opposites are in you only. Embrace it and make sure your children also embrace it. That's me. Do you see art or science? So I was not always like this. I was something like that also a few years back. But I made sure I had to inculcate art and science in my life also and become something for the country. So that's it. Please tell your children yourself, please do not have any fear of missing out. From fear of missing out, come to relief on missing out. That's my own terminology. And then finally, equanimity, neither fear nor relief on missing out. Always be a lifelong student. I'm telling you some things which got me. It doesn't mean to keep giving exams. It means always be open to learning new things in life. And I'm sure as CIOs, that's one of the things you always are faced with. Heroes and celebrities, I used to ask children, what do you want to be? And many of them told me they want to be YouTube celebrities. Nothing wrong. But then I said that you're already celebrity there. Your parents, your grandparents are your biggest celebrities. But when we are sitting with them, we don't give them any importance. We'll go into a mobile phone. And the moment some random people will give us likes, we are so happy, which we don't know. Maybe it's algorithm giving us likes. But the people are looking at you and say, Mone, should I give you something? We say, don't disturb me right now. The ones who want to treat you like celebrity in your colony, in your places, we treat them very badly. But some random algorithmic warriors who are giving you likes will die for them. I mean, it's a thing to think about in this present way. So I would always say we are heroes and celebrities. You're doing fantastic work in your organizations. You are heroes and celebrities for the subordinates in your office. And we don't have to go anywhere else. We just need a niche crowd and be genuine in them. Personal trainers, I always say we go to gyms and we pay money and do our biceps build up and all. They'll tell us to do a lot of things. They will shout at us, but we don't have any complaints because we have paid money there and we know we're finally going to get muscles. But all the people who give us pain in life, we say they are enemy. No, those enemies or the people who give us pain in life are free personal gym trainers who are teaching us how to be better in life. So personally, I don't respond or react. I respect them. Thank you for becoming the obstacle in Google Map, which made me take the new route. And because of this new route, I found the love of my life. I found the job I want to do. I found the house that I want to build. So there is no misstep. When one door closed, one entire gate opened for me. Be one, I tell the children, like you're 1 year old, seeing everything without judgment, that rose smell, seeing sunshine. We have forgotten those simple things in life. You're sitting here in Kerala, just see what a beautiful place. You'll not go out even appreciate this, right? I have been to all inhospitable places. We are standing in a place where 365 days of a year, there's fantastic weather. That's why there's so much of bounty. We take it for granted. Always be one, meaning endeavor to be one in everything, but without negative competition, and be one, that universal one, that when you go outside and see that earth is one, it's one pixel, zoom out and you realize that we are all one. It's like the individual cells in your body, the liver cell having competition with the brain cell till the time they realize they are Prashant. So be one. So I hope I'm able to convince you now that from the astronaut state of mind, we need to do something totally Indian, and the Indian is Gaganyaan state of mind. I want all of you to inculcate that. And with that, space, blackness, left and right. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. That's my outreach email, astropapanair HSFC, and those are my handles, because without a digital signature nowadays, you don't exist, right? So that's what I am. I don't know whether we got time. I'm sorry I had to rush through, but I like to, I know you guys are already late, so I just want to make sure that because of me, you don't get late any further. Thank you, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir, for the highly insightful session. We request you to kindly remain on stage for a moment. Thank you for being kind enough to share your personal experiences with us, for giving us a glimpse into the life of an astronaut. Yes, let's thank him with a big round of applause. Thank you so much for giving us this unique experience. So many takeaways from your session. Now, we would like to present a token of our love and appreciation, inviting Mr. Jojo Jose, the Vice President of CIO Association Kerala Chapter, and Mr. Rajesh, the Treasurer, to adorn him the Ponnada. A token of our respect, we would like to adorn him the Ponnada and say a big thank you. Here we have Jojo sir and Rajesh sir joining us on stage to present the Ponnada. Once again, a big thank you to Group Captain Prashant Nair for gracing us here at GOCC 2026. Thank you so much, sir, for being here to add more value to our event. Now to present the memento, I would like to invite on stage our Secretary, Mr. Sukesh Subramanian. Of course, Prashant sir is special for all the Malayalis present here for one more reason. He is married to our beloved actress Lena, who I'm sure is his biggest support system now. And on behalf of the entire CIO Association, here we have Mr. Sugeesh presenting the memento. I would like to request all the MC members to join the other dignitaries on stage now. Can we have all the MC members on stage? To make these moments even more beautiful, requesting all the MC members to kindly come on stage. What a beautiful sight. We have a bunch of luminaries together on this prestigious platform. Yes, so we're going to take a group selfie. I definitely want in on this. So yes, with all of us, Prashant sir is going to take a selfie. Yes, the official photo team. I guess you can also take a group picture. Yes, you please do come forward. Let's all make sure we are there in the frame. Everyone, take a few steps forward. Let's all make sure we are visible. 3, 2, 1, smile. Yes, a thumbs up for moments. Thank you so much. Once again, a big thank you to Prashant Nair sir for doing this for us, for making these moments even more special for us. Thank you. I know most of us are still starstruck. We have this icon with us here, and he has been kind enough to share a lot of his personal experiences with us. Indeed, a wonderful opportunity for all of us here at GOCC 2026.